up, Mr. fucking Desert Dime?
Hey guys, thank you for clicking on another video, and today is probably the most exciting video we have of this entire rebuild series. And you wanna know why? Because today we are putting the final pieces back on the truck, and that means the rebuild is over and we can see what the final product looks like. So if you haven't been keeping up on the series, let me do a quick recap for you. I wanted to redo the rear end suspension of my 2014 Toyota Tacoma, and that kind of snowballed into a whole bunch of different things. So let's start from the front. We did a lot of brake work because my truck needed it. We got new R1 Concepts drilled and slotted rotors. We got their off-road performance brake pads. We flushed the entire system and put new .4 high temp brake fluid in the truck. And we added extended brake lines in the rear somewhere through all that mess on the other side. Now, once all of that brake work was done, we sent the truck off for the meat and potatoes of the rebuild, which is this shock relocation kit from Archive Garage. We sent it over to KDM to have the whole thing welded on and installed, and now we are fitting a 2.5 by 12 inch shock in the rear. Now, the day I got this truck back from the shop and had it in my garage, me and Andreas ripped off the coilovers and the leaf springs from the truck to have them both sent in and rebuilt, because it's been about 5 years since I've shown any love to this kit. So we just got the leaf springs back last week, we just got the coilovers back yesterday, and today we are going to be reinstalling all of these. And alongside reinstalling all these, we are throwing on the wheel spacer kit because this whole new shock relocation kit requires it, so I'm not rubbing on the shock shaft. So that's what's on tap for today, guys. Reinstalling coilovers, reinstalling leaf springs, throwing on 2 wheel spacers just on one side so we can look at one side, see how far it's poking out, and look at how it's poking out before the wheel spacers, give you guys a little before and after. Now, before we go ahead and throw these coilovers on, I want to remind you guys that we are shooting for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and join our wonderful community here. We got a lot of off-road content, a lot of Tacoma content being posted this past month, and a lot more to come, guys. So make sure you stay tuned, especially because we're going to be reviewing this whole kit once it's all done. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and throw these bad boys on. Okay, so now we got both coilovers in. There's still a few things we have to button up in the wheel well, like torquing down the nut that's going onto the bolt that's going through the upper control arm into the spindle and reattaching the sway link. But other than that, everything's put in very nice, very well. I do need to throw some stickers on the reservoirs because I took them off when they cleaned them and they never put new ones on. So the front end's done. Now, I text Andres because he was like an hour late, and I was like, hey buddy, are you still sleeping? Because he works late night shifts. And he just texted me back. He's like, yeah, sorry, I slept in. We'll have to do this tomorrow. So I guess that's it for today. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow when we're installing the rear end and the rest of everything for this video. All right, boys, welcome back to day 2, and we are ready to finish up this truck and this whole project that has been going on for probably about almost a month now. Yeah, buddy. Did you get a nice little haircut?
Yeah.
Ooh, showed off.
Running off 2 hours of sleep in 2 days. This shit so much.
That's right. Spread it on there nice like.
Skadoosh. Booch.
So we decided we're gonna push off the drum adjustments till a later date, and we're just gonna focus on getting the truck back together and running again, since that's not really catastrophic.
I mean, I'm gonna see you again on Tuesday.
Bro, freshly painted just, oh my God.
Dude, oh my God, my freshly painted leaf springs that I'm gonna beat the shit out of in the dirt.
Okay, we don't talk about what I'm gonna do in the dirt, okay?
I'm gonna do you in the dirt.
Okay, well, while I finish buttoning up the front end, get the wheels and tires on and drop it, we're gonna have him put the bushings into the leaf springs so we can throw them on.
As you can tell, I'm working at a much slower pace today because I am sleep deprived and haven't slept much, like at all, because work has had me
Okay,
sleep.
we're done here. This isn't Keeping Up with the Kardashians, okay?
Kind of a buzzkill, Jacob. Or sorry, Desert Dime.
Like I said before, dude, these look so good. The black on like alloy contrast looks nice. Even though it's gonna get covered up by the wheel, still think it looks good. All right, so the problem we're running into, since we're not on an actual lift and we were just doing jacks and jack stands and everything, is all the times we were jacking the front and the rear up and down and all this stuff, the whole truck is like shifting since the leaves are disconnected and not holding it all tied together. So right now we're just trying to muscle the axle and the diff back and forth, try to center it, you know, angle it just right, and get everything lined up so we can get the front point, the middle point, and the rear point all lined up properly. We got the front in the rear. Now we just have to shift the axle a little bit so we can get the peg into essentially the axle.
Needs to go up just a tad. Right there. Now shift it back. Right there. Drop it back down. Drop it. This side's in. And what holds the diff too. And the little. Yeah.
All right, we got the whole thing set in front, center, and back. The U-bolt's on, everything's torqued down except the U-bolt, but other than that, I think all we have to do is throw on the other side. It should be pretty centered. Maybe just minor adjustments, but other than that, I think we're good. So we got the other side all in now. I just have to torque everything down and button everything up, but our main mechanic is leaving the shop.
I gotta go to work, man.
Yeah,
It's basically my second job is this garage, so.
Well, we did a lot of pretty good work. I mean,
yeah, for bullshitting half the time, we got a decent amount of labor done. I mean, the truck's out of hovercraft mode by today, so.
I know. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Of course.
Now we just hope nothing falls apart on the first shakedown. So of course, as we're at the very end of the entire install, we're on the last nut on the U-bolt. Andreas notices that it like seized up like maybe a quarter of the way up, and it took us like 30 minutes to get it off because it would not back off either. And I finally got it off, and there is like, let's see if it'll focus. There's literally like no threads anymore on like this little bottom section. Like there's barely any threads grabbing, but it's like mainly smoothed out. You can kind of see the difference, but it's just, I don't know what it is. This wasn't nicked up or like bad threads. This wasn't, it might have been the nut, but I have no idea. So I started freaking out because I have some of the guys coming over to finally do that content shoot that I postponed because we didn't finish this yesterday. And I'm like, dude, now I have to go find a U-bolt somewhere. And I started panicking because it's like 3 or 4 o'clock right now. I was like, everywhere's gonna close. I barely have enough time to run out there and grab it and come back. And then I remembered from Bryson's 3rd gen that he sold, his kit came with an add-a-leaf that has the hardware, all brand new U-bolts, all brand new hardware. Dude, I just lucked out. So we're gonna throw on all this stuff and then we're gonna call it a day. Alrighty, we got the new U-bolts on with the new hardware below. Everything went in fine, no fighting against the threads on both sides. And guys, she is off jack stand. She is on all 4 corners, standing on her own now. And as promised, we did only put on one side of spacers so we can see the before and after of, you know, like spacers and no spacers. So let's take a look at that right now. right, so let's check out the side without the spacers on it. You can see right here, it sits pretty flush with the body line, like almost perfectly. The tread sits flush with the body line, and you have like maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of sidewall kind of poking out. Yeah, so it sits almost perfectly with the body lines. And now let's check out this new side with the wheel spacers on. Look at that poke. Look at how that pokes, dude. Damn. So yeah, we're sticking out quite a bit now. Maybe that much is sticking out on the tire. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot more aggressive, and I'm glad it's not. I think this looks perfect. I especially like how in the front it has that wide, more aggressive track stance than this. It looks a little skinny on this side now compared to the width with the wheel spacer, so I'm super stoked on that. Look, you can see the difference in the track stance. This one, a little more tucked. This one, standing out nice and wide. All right, now with that being checked out and you guys see the before and after, it's time to throw on the other side's wheel spacer so the thing can be completely finished. All right, so while we were out getting some shots, getting some pictures and some videos for Instagram, I found this little like man-made ramp step up onto a drain and thought this would probably be the best I can get you guys until we're out in the desert with some actual flex spots. But I just wanted to show off the kit a little bit, show you guys the final product before I make an actual video doing a whole breakdown of this and testing it. But I mean, it looks good. I've been driving it around for a few days now, and it definitely feels a lot better than the front end, I could tell you that much. I barely feel anything. Like, I'm going through dips, hitting some light city type jumps, going over potholes, stuff like this, and I can't even feel the back end anymore, versus where it used to be the back end bucking straight up and just sending my ass to the sky. So I'm super stoked with how the ride quality is so far. And I mean, the flex isn't too bad. Flex isn't bad at all. I don't know if you guys can capture the full beauty of what's going on right now with how the flex looks. Like, the truck's pretty damn level. And again, I know it's not that drastic of a little step up for me to flex on. I might try to find another one while we're doing the shoot right now, but it's the best I could do for city. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this video and this entire journey that's been going on the past few weeks of this whole rebuild series. And we're not over yet. Like I said, we are going to go out and test the product. We're going to do a full build breakdown of just the rear end now. And we have a lot more content coming around this build, guys. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.